One of the most common things I see on my lesson tee is people struggling with an over-the-top golf swing. So here's a simple practice you can be setting up while you're at the range in order to eliminate that over-the-top golf swing and work it more into out. It's very simple. All you're going to need is a couple of alignment rods. So what you're going to do is you're going to take your alignment rod, get it set up towards the target down at the range, right? So you get that one at the range. Then you're going to take your club that you're working with here and you're going to set up pretending that's the golf ball. Okay, so you're going to set up just like that, and you're going to take your second rod. You're going to take your second rod and you're going to match it along the shaft. The same shaft, the line that the shaft is on, you're going to put this rod right in the ground just like that. Make sure it goes in there a little bit so it's not pretty flimsy and it stays pretty sturdy. Okay, you're going to match just like that. Then you're going to come to the front of this rod and you're going to work on going slight. If you've ever heard the term shaft plane, this is very similar. Okay, it's not perfect, but it's roughly about right. Okay, so you're going to go to the front of this rod and you're going to take your normal grip and stance, and your club is going to then travel just slightly over this rod, and that club face should look something like that, right? Just slightly tilted towards the ground, not straight up and down, but just slightly tilted towards the ground. And you're going to come up to the top of your backswing, and then from there you're going to get this club to go just slightly under, right? Slightly under that rod. The typical person that I see, they end up taking it in. They have a backwards kind of pattern. They end up taking it in and under, right? And then they just rotate their body in no linear movement towards that target, and that club ends up coming steep and over that shaft plane. Then we end up pulling it left, probably most likely chunking it. Too many misses I see from there, right? So again, this is not a station to be hitting golf balls on. It's just a practice station. It's for practice swing, because I've seen too many take out and break their golf clubs on this. So it's just a practice station. You're going to do it in slow motion, right? Up to the top. Then you're going to come under and you're going to just follow through. Make sure missing that stick. Now remember, it's slightly, not drastic. Not this, right? It's just slightly over and then slightly under, okay? This will get you to start that ball a little bit more right and allow it to maybe even curve left. So again, one more time. We're gonna go slightly up. We're gonna go one. We have 3 checkpoints. Right here, just slightly above. Our second checkpoint up at the top. I prefer a flat wrist from this position if you're gonna go slightly over and under. And then as you come down, we're shifting our weight slightly to the left. We're shifting our weight to that left side. You should already be firmly into your left side by the time this arm gets to parallel. You should have most of your weight, I'd say at least 75% of your weight on your left foot at this point. As you come through, we start to rotate, and we're continuing that rotate and shifting down into the golf ball. Your foot should look something like this, not like this, right? And then you're going to follow through. So do about 3 or 4 practices over here, then grab a ball station behind you. So when you go to replicate it, I want you to make that first swing at like 50% power, feeling that same motion you felt over there. So again, I'm doing this at 50% power. Slightly over, slightly under. Okay? Then I want you to bump up the speed a little bit. Go to 75% power. Slightly over, slightly under. Okay, after you hit a couple shots, feeling good, get back on your practice station. Set up to the front of this, at the front of this stick, slightly over, slightly under. Slightly over, slightly under. Right? 5, 6 swings just like that. Come back to your station, 50% power. Slightly over, slightly under. Do this the next time you go to the range, and I bet you we can get started in the right direction, starting that ball a little bit more right of where you want, and then also curving it back to the left. Hopefully this helps, and we'll see you on the next one.